Good morning, dolls, and welcome to Little Gretchen's workshop. So, you find me here with a work in progress. I'm trying to create a pot holder or pot rack for the wall of the rooming house kitchen. Now, I didn't want to just add the nails directly to the wall and the wallpaper, so I went through my scrap pile and found this old tabletop. It was a table that I made years ago, and I really didn't like the way it turned out, but I kept the tabletop. I just knew it would come in handy one day. So yes, I've drilled my holes already based on where I want the pots to hang, and I think it really looks cute. And here I'm showing you on the back where the legs to the table used to be. That's the glue, but it doesn't matter because that'll be mounted to the wall. So I'm using little brass pins. These are the same pins that I use for my pin hinge technique for several of my furniture items. But in this instance, I'm going to use them like pegs or hooks on this wall board. But I am going to trim off the pointed part, roughly about a quarter of the length, because a portion of it will be embedded in the wood, and I do need enough so that the pots can hang securely on the end of the pin. Now I am using my Gorilla Wood glue as my adhesive to put right on the tip before I insert it into the pre-drilled holes. And you can see here it's like a little glob of glue on the tip of the brass pin. And that's what I'm going to insert in the hole. Now, dolls, if you use this method, there will be a little oozing if you get too much glue on the end of your peg. So you will need to wipe around it before the glue dries, because once that Gorilla Gel glue dries, there's no turning back. Now, I left my brass pins brass. If you wanted to paint them black or white or um, any other color, that definitely should be done before you actually put the pins in. It's so funny to me how this remnant scrap piece of wooden table turned out to be the perfect size for an old pot rack. So I'm really glad I saved it. And this is why I encourage you, dolls, to keep all your remnants and your scraps because you never know where they'll come in handy. So you continue the process of adding all the pins until they're complete and wait till they're completely dry before you try to test out your pots. I really like the way that looks, dolls. I could actually even make a pegboard. That's a really great method to do a pegboard. So now I'm testing my pots to see if they can hang in the lengths that I put them in or if they'll fit in different sequences on the board. You don't have to put them on exactly the same way each time. And I'm not going to glue or wax my pots to the board. I'm just checking them for size and the lengths to see how many of them I can fit on there nice and neatly to create the look that I like. And again, dolls, I'm just playing, so there is no real system. I'm just trying them to see which ones look visually the most interesting. And that's the thing you have to do when you're setting up your rooms. You have to look at them as far as the length and the colors, and you have to hold it back and look at it to see how it looks. Each piece or each thing you create is an actual work of art within itself. So you have to determine if it's pleasing to the eye and if it gives the effect that you want it to give. Anytime you create a piece like this, dolls, it adds to your story. So you have to look at it to see if it needs to be modified further so that it tells your story more completely. I really love the way everything looks, but it kind of bothers me that those cast iron skillets look so new. I think I'm going to need to age them a little bit, but I'll come back to that because I have another idea brewing. So let me get this out of my head first. So I have a few pieces of beadboard left over. Let me move the pot rack out of the way. And I do need somewhere to hang these little pot holders that I made. So dolls, I realized I have quite a few pot holders and dish towels and little linens, and I need to create something to hang them on. Now for the pot holders, they have a loop. So I'm going to use the same technique I used for the pot rack. I'm just going to do it on the small little planks that I used for the beadboard. Again, dolls, these are the scraps and remnants from the beadboard that I made for the rooming house bathroom. Although I call it beadboard, it's actually just stained coffee stir sticks. Then I had another idea. I found a couple pieces of plain wood and decided that I would drill the holes in them. They were a little bit smaller, and I decided I'm going to add the holes and the brass pins, but I'm going to paint them a metallic color so then I can use them on the actual stove and make them look like a metallic piece rather than wood. And I'll use the wood planks for something else. This is another instance, dolls, where the fact that I was playing gave me more ideas and inspiration of what I needed to do to the kitchen. So in this instance, I drilled the holes all the way through, and I used the exact same technique that I used for the pot rack, except I just did it on the small piece of wood. And after I added the little brass pins and added the glue, I allowed it to dry. After finishing the first potholder rack bar, I decided I wanted a second one. Now they're all done, so let me give them a chance to dry before I paint them. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and age these pots a little bit more. So this is just some of my gesso that I use all the time. It helps the paint to stick. I'm adding the gesso in sort of a circular motion and making it look as though the pots are slightly burned on the bottom. Now these are black cast iron skillets. I'm just going to add a little texture to them. I'm going to be still using acrylic paint, but the gesso has, like I said, a little bit of texture to it, so it'll make it look as if it's been worn or used or a little bit burned. I don't want the pots to look rusty, but I definitely want them to be well used, very seasoned. And I'm going to even add a little bit to this cute little enamel pot. It's absolutely perfect, but it's a little bit too perfect for an old rooming house. So rather than breaking the enamel or actually scuffing it up or removing the finish, I'm just going to add a little bit of black to the bottom of it as well to create artificial scuffs and scrapes that would make it look more natural to go along with the rest of the pots in the kitchen. And again, dolls, this is another one of those little tiny details that some may say this is unnecessary. But when you're trying to tell a story or create a look or create a mood or the lifestyle of the dolls that live in your house, I know sometimes people don't use dolls, but for me, they're essential for the creation of my images. I have to tell their story. It's these little details that bring their world and story to life. So, dolls, don't be in such a rush and a hurry to finish your dollhouse that you neglect the details that truly tell the story. Now, that looks better to me. Now, dolls, I did add a couple extra pins to the bottom of the board. I saw open space, and I thought it would look cute if a couple pot holders were hanging there. That would be a convenient place for the dolls to be able to reach them to grab a hot pot off of the stove. So I think that looks nice. It wasn't a part of my original design, but I think it's a very practical place to put a couple pot holders. Now, after I added the pot holders to the little pins, I actually didn't show it here, but I added a little bit of wax to them to make sure they stayed put. I really like the way that looks, dolls. So let's move on to the next part. So I found some more pot holders. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare the other pot holder racks. So these were the two that I did with the plain wood and I allowed them to dry. So now I'm going to give them a metallic finish because I've decided to glue them to the side of the cast iron stove. So I want them to look as though they were an original part of the stove. Now, dolls, I'm using the Testors silver paint. That paint is used for model cars, but I really like the silver finish. You could definitely use just regular acrylic silver paint. I just love the finish that the tester silver gives. So now that I've allowed little Gretchen to make a complete mess with the silver paint, I'm going to allow those little pieces to dry before I actually install them on the stove in the kitchen. Well, I've allowed little Gretchen to just have her way, and you see what happens, dolls, when I let her loose. All right, that's enough, little Gretchen. So, dolls, I needed a couple more towel racks, like the kind I made for the rooming house bathroom. I actually needed one on the side of the sink and another one over the top of the sink. So I needed to make a couple more really quick, still using the big paper clip and earring back method. And I'm actually going to make another type of rack that will work for the pots and the spoons that have hooks on them. Now pay close attention, dolls. I'm still using the large paper clip. So the technique is very similar to when I was making the towel racks, but rather than putting the earring backs on the ends of the bent wire, I'm going to glue them directly into the coffee stir sticks. So I'm actually allowing the drill to go all the way through them so that it'll be a nice tight bond. And again, this is the same thing that I did with the wood pot rack. I just drilled the hole, and after clearing the space for the wire, using the wire from the paper clip rather than the little pins, dolls, make sure you add a little blob of glue before you actually put it into the drilled hole. And gently bend the other end, making sure it's the right length so that when you bend it, it'll fit neatly into the second hole. So I'm just using some jeweler's pliers to just bend that really quick, snipping off the end, and gently push the other end into the pre-drilled hole. Careful with your fingers, dolls. Now you actually may need to dry fit this a couple times to make sure that it's correct. But after you have the length right and the bends right, then you just want to dry fit to make sure that the holes are the right length and everything goes in neatly so that when you add your glue, you'll be able to leave it alone and allow it to dry. So there we go, a little rack that I can hang the hooks and utensils on. So these are the type of little things you need to do, dolls, after you realize what you need. I had some pots with holes in them. I have some pots that have hooks on them. I have some utensils that have hooks on them. So you have to think about what you need, where the things need to be in the kitchen, how the dolls will use the utensils, and you just think about what you would need in your own life-size kitchen. Where would you want the spoons and pot holders to be? So dolls, just design your kitchen with convenience in mind. Be considerate of your dolls in this process so they don't have to run around looking for things that they need while they're cooking. Now here, dolls, I'm doing a repeat of the process with the earring backs and the paper clips for towel racks. If you haven't seen my video about the towel racks and towels for the bathroom series, check that out for a more detailed explanation. So here we are, dolls, back in the rooming house kitchen, and there is the pot holder rack on the side of the stove. The steam is rising from all the hot pots, and there you see my ladles hanging from the rack that I made for the hooks. Yeah, that's a little bit more clear. That looks great. It looks perfect in that corner. And there's the other pot holder rack. See, dolls, it's the perfect place for the cutting board. And I'm just too tickled about that little scrap wood shelf I made there for the oils and baking soda. Now, dolls, if you've enjoyed this video, definitely let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. And always look for me on Mondays and Wednesdays after 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm really tickled about that pot rack, dolls. I want to say a special thank you to all my subscribers and even those of you who haven't subscribed but you're watching. I appreciate you as well. Always remember to play have fun, and go ahead and create. I'm looking forward to seeing you, dolls, on the next episode of Little Gretchen's Workshop. Bye-bye now, dolls.